Graduands, guests, colleagues, I declare this ceremony open. You may be seated. As Pro Vice-Chancellor International, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to this graduation ceremony for the Nottingham School of Art and Design. I'd particularly like to welcome those joining us on live stream in the Newton Building, across the UK and around the world. You're very welcome as well. Welcome also to our Outstanding Alumni Award, Charlie Martin. Charlie, it's a pleasure to have you with us, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts later in the ceremony. Graduands, I want to begin by congratulating you on your achievements. In particular, all of my colleagues and I want to acknowledge that you've had a tough time with significant periods of your time with us, disrupted by COVID-19. Nonetheless, you've come through the challenges that you faced, showing considerable resilience and resourcefulness along the way. These are qualities which will serve you well as you navigate the uncertain times ahead. Graduation is a very significant day for us, just as much for you. It's the moment when we come together to reflect on your academic accomplishments and all the incredible things that you have achieved during your NTU journey. No matter which program you've just completed, foundation, undergraduate, postgraduate degree, professional qualification, or apprenticeship, your talent and determination have laid the firm foundations for the next stages of your life. However, no one completes this journey alone. So I invite you now to reflect on those who've supported you along the way, your family, your friends, course mates, colleagues in professional services, and academic tutors. Can I invite you all now to rise and to recognize their contribution with a round of applause. It's great, thanks. We'll hopefully hear more of that in plenty as the students cross the stage. These ceremonies also give us an opportunity to reflect on the university's world-leading research, our commitment to ensuring our graduates are equipped for the world of work, and our ever-expanding network of international partnerships. I will highlight just a few of these. We have, for the last 4 years, consistently been the largest recruiter of students in the UK, of UK students, and that popularity has made us the 5th largest university overall. We have won major national awards for the quality of our student support and our contribution to social mobility. We remain one of the top 5 most environmentally sustainable universities in the world. Our research has once again won the Queen's Anniversary Prize. And we had the most improved score of any comprehensive university in the recent UK research assessment exercise. Yet, some of our proudest achievements can be found in the results of our student surveys. Thanks to all of those of you who completed the National Student Survey or the Postgraduate Taught Experience Survey in recent months. These surveys gather opinions on the quality of our courses, provide valuable insights into what we're doing and what we could do better in the future. So the whole sector has had some challenges, you can imagine, with the COVID-19, and that has reflected itself in the scores. But I'm absolutely delighted to say that our scores remain significantly above the average and the 8th highest out of over 100 comprehensive universities. So thank you very much for your contribution. It's very encouraging, and it's great that you recognize that enabling our students to succeed is our top priority. The Nottingham School of Art and Design exemplifies these ambitions. Its mission is to be instinctive, provocative, and representative, to innovate, communicate, and collaborate. Graduands, that ethos is only as strong as your ability to participate in it, and participate you have. It is hinged on your creative talent, your dedication to your craft, and your willingness to be radical. Now, 179 years old, the school is one of the leading centres for art and design across the world. It is defined by its culture of choice, diversity, and research-informed learning. It strives to make student practice representative of the real world so they can enter the creative sector knowing what it takes to work across boundaries, to collaborate in new ways with new people, tackling new challenges. In all these respects, the Nottingham School of Art and Design reflects the duties of a modern university: to create opportunities, to connect globally, to interrogate ideas, and to enrich and empower its communities. So, class of 2022, I hope you enjoyed today's ceremonies. I now invite the Executive Dean, Michael Morrison, to read the names of today's graduands, and the Deputy Pro-Chancellor, Baroness Warwick, to confer your degrees.
I'll now invite the stewards to bring forward the first group of graduands. Deputy Pro-Chancellor, the following have qualified for awards from the Nottingham School of Art and Design. Bachelor of Arts degree with honours in Decorative Arts. The next student also receives a prize, the Chartered Society of Designers Student of the Year. Elise Argent. Lucy Argent. Marianne Ashbury. Lily Barker. Yi Jin Cho. Sarah Goldman. Bethan Graham. Salma Hagras. Chloe Hall. Ilza Jaziska. Polyala Killingley. Holly McConnell. Lorraine Murphy. Harry Phillips. Camilla Ratsuzinka. Elisa Rianto. The next student also receives the prize for the Art Society Nottingham Bursary winner, Macy Sawyer. Ju Wei Shi. Joanne Shelton. Aisling Thomas Chivers. Charlotte Webster. Daisy Whiteman-Lee. The next student also receives the prize for Art Society Nottingham bursary winner, Kate Wilson. Eugene Zhang. Bachelor of Arts degree with honours in Fashion Marketing and Branding, Phoebe Allen. Emily Atkins. Amber Bannerman-Lloyd. Kira Beebe. Isabella Bloom. Norman D. Bobroff. Imani Jane Botham. Emily May Brailsford. Evie Bullivant. Ellie Carolan. Ting Yu Chen. Rebecca Clark. Ruby Coates. Chloe Durajo. Amira Davda. Autumn Denny Stevens. Adamola Fardipe. Isabel Farhi. Jessica Fullard. Esme Gibbons. Min Jung Gong. Nadine Guzman Cruz. Harriet Haley. Imogen Hickman. Chi Pong Ho. Chloe Hollis. Emma Hudson. Rose Huggett. Olivia Hunt. Sophie Inglis. Imogen Jones. Caitlin Kemp. Brigitte Kramen. Ping Yu Kuo. Abigail Langton. Amber Lanny. Neve Latest Carr. Feng Yuan Li. Jessica Logan. Deputy Pro-Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of awards to the first group of graduates from the Nottingham School of Art and Design. I'm pleased to invite Philippe Wilson to the stage to give the oration for our outstanding alumni, Charlie Martin, and to present them to the Deputy Pro-Chancellor to receive the award.
It's my pleasure and privilege to present Charlie Martin, one of the most outstanding members of our alumni community, to receive an award today in recognition of their achievement. Charlie was born in Leicester, and I promised I wouldn't be specific on the date, so in the early 1980s. Throughout her school life, art and design was always her thing, demonstrating a real flair for creative work and the French language. Now, before continuing, Charlie will understand why, I must have to state that this citation has not been sponsored in any way by Sky Television or any of its subsidiaries. Charlie will understand, and hopefully everyone will at the end of this citation as well. Moving to NTU in the early 2000s, with a passion for graphic design, Charlie really enjoyed her first year and is very much still friends with the people she lived with. She moved in with 9 friends in her second year and quickly realized that being a tidy and ordered person in a house full of boys was perhaps not conducive to any form of sanity. Charlie enjoyed motorsports from a young age and was particularly excited when in the aforementioned house, the collective group decided to purchase a Sky Sports subscription. Unfortunately for her, 90% of the household watched football 100% of the time, so Charlie's hopes of evenings watching Formula One were totally dashed. One might think that this is enough to put someone off Sky for life, but not Charlie. She now works closely with Sky and benefits from a free Sky subscription, which she can now only watch motorsports with. One of Charlie's ambitions when she went to university was to explore her gender identity. And in fact, one of the surprising coincidences she realized later in life was upon her referral to the gender clinic. This clinic was only a stone's throw away from her first-year flat. In Charlie's own words, had she realized this when she was at NTU, she may have done something about her identity much earlier on. Interestingly, upon graduation, one of Charlie's first interviews in graphic design was for, everyone's probably guessed it, Sky Television, and eventually worked for the family business before realizing she was not utilizing the creative skills she so enjoyed. Charlie had quite a bit on at this time. She'd transitioned and was also heavily involved in amateur motorsports. While trying to translate this from a hobby to a profession, she quickly realized that in order to succeed in the area, she needed a brand, some marketing, and therefore she began vlogging and creating her own websites. All the skills Charlie had honed while she was at NTU returned with a vengeance. In fact, the year after Charlie finished her degree, her mum had lent her £400 to buy a Peugeot 205 as a project to turn into her first race car. After taking a year away from the sport during her gender transition, Charlie had a serious concern of not being accepted in motorsport, but persevered and returned to the circuit with the steely determination she's demonstrated throughout her career. One of the defining races, which really jump-started, and I apologise for the pun, but I had to put it in there, Charlie's motorsports career, was in her early hill climb days. In 2014, Charlie therefore entered the Sanguino Masters, and not only excelled, but she won it by 3 seconds and broke the entire class record by 2 seconds, which I'm told is almost a lifetime in motorsports. Charlie's career then grew and grew, buying a Formula Renault. She built herself a motorhome truck, travelled around France racing for 3 years, and despite family and friends questioning her sanity, which happens to the best of us, Charlie had a gut feeling that this was what she needed to do. Over those 3 years, Charlie learned about herself, about people, and how if you are determined to achieve something in life, you can do it. It was also a heartwarming experience. Charlie met swathes of people who didn't know her prior to being trans, and wholly accepted her with open arms. It was the fact that upon learning that Charlie was trans, their reaction was, wow, incredible, it doesn't make a difference to us. It was validation like this that made Charlie realize she was in the right space. Finally, moving to circuit racing, Charlie started seeking sponsorship for her circuit work. The fact that Charlie had transitioned was almost unheard of in motorsport, but the support she experienced from colleagues, competitors, and fans was unparalleled. This really gave Charlie the determination to put her degree to NTU to good use. She began her own social marketing campaign, and this was remarkably successful, and her Go Charlie brand has attracted thousands of followers, with her inspiring stories the only trans woman in elite motorsport. She's a sports champion for Stonewall, Europe's largest LGBTQ+ charity, a patron for mermaids, and an ambassador for Athlete Ally in the USA. Moreover, her beloved lifelong relationship with Sky has now culminated in the company working with her as an influencer. Charlie is indeed a game changer in elite motorsport, and her community and charitable work are testament to her nature of always working harder for just causes. Baroness Warwick, we are honoured to have such an inspirational global leader in our alumni community. It gives me great pride to present Charlie Martin to receive the Nottingham Trent University Outstanding Alumni Award.
Philippe, thank you very much for that colourful look back into my life to date. I'd like to just congratulate all of the graduates today here before I go any further. It's a real honour and a privilege to be speaking amongst you all. Back when I was studying my graphic design degree, I never dreamt that one day I would become a professional racing driver, nor that one day I would take control of my life and transition to be the person stood here speaking to you today. Neither of these things were part of a plan, but sometimes I think life has a plan for us all. And it all started for me the year I graduated, as Philip said. I saved up £1,500, bought myself a little car and started racing. Pretty humble beginnings back then. I worked in graphic design for some time before going into a variety of jobs, everything from project managing and renovating houses to working in sales in my family business, where as the youngest of 3 siblings, I also got to do all kinds of jobs that no one else wanted to do. Certainly it was a long way away from the glamour of racing Lamborghinis and appearing in Vogue magazine. And for a long time, I didn't really know where my life was headed. I loved racing, but I had no idea how I could ever turn this into a career. The fact is that driving a car is actually only really the tip of the iceberg, and the harsh reality is that actually to go anywhere in motorsport, you need money, and quite a lot of money that I didn't have. However, I quickly realized I was going to need sponsors, and to do that, I was going to need a profile. I was going to need to promote myself, turn myself into a brand, and basically go out there and sell myself. And I began to realize that actually I had quite a few of the skills that I needed. Now, bear with me, but writing this speech and looking back at my life, I realized that I actually have quite a lot in common with the Karate Kid. If you're not familiar with this story, it's basically the story of Daniel, a young kid who wants to learn karate, and Mr. Miyagi, the wily old kung fu master, who agrees to teach him on the condition that Daniel will spend the summer cleaning his house, tidying his garden, washing his car, and so on. Daniel reluctantly takes up the challenge, but he doesn't realize that all the skills that he's learning, wax on, wax off, paint the fence, and so on, are actually the basis of karate. And of course, at the end of the summer, well, we all know the rest. Where am I going with this? Well, much like Daniel, I don't think I fully appreciated the benefit of a lot of the things that I was learning at times. I didn't know how relevant these things would become for me in my life. Graphic design, for example, as Philippe said, imbued me with the skills I needed to promote myself, to do logos, presentations, vlogs, videos, you name it. Working in sales, I not only learned about connecting with people and forming trust very quickly, it equipped me with the confidence I needed to sell and to market myself. Working as a project manager, renovating houses, it taught me about getting the best out of a team of people. It taught me about organizational skills that I needed when I went off to race in France, where again, speaking French to A-level meant that I had the linguistic skills to actually go and spend 3 years over there. A huge adventure in my life, and something that also helped launch my career to professional status. And finally, transition, which helped me get into public speaking, because so often I found myself in situations where I was becoming a bit of a spokesperson for trans people. Despite the fact that standing and speaking in front of hundreds of people is something that to this day still fills me with fear, I thought, what better way to connect with people, to inspire them, to use my voice to try and create positive change in the world. And the point, I guess, of all of this is that these are all skills that have been absolutely vital in my job today. And the message, therefore, I think, is that we don't always know how, why, or when the things we're learning in life will actually become important to us, when we'll come across opportunities to use these skills. And therefore, we should always strive to learn new things. We should always apply ourselves, always work earnestly, because you never know when the universe is going to open a door for you to step forwards and step through it. But where is Mr. Miyagi in all this? Well, for me, Mr. Miyagi is represented by society. He's the world around us. He's every time we have a chance and an opportunity to give something back, to leave things better than we found them, and to make a difference. One of the greatest sources of motivation in my life now is to use the platform that I've created to try and create more acceptance in the world, to do this not only in motorsport, but far beyond that, so that everyone, in fact, can live happily in their life, not in spite of being themselves, but as a direct result of being their true, authentic self. I think that I know that feeling and why that's so important as much as anyone. You might sense that I'm very proud to be transgender, because Transitioning in my sport was one of the most terrifying things I could ever imagine. But the confidence, the self-belief, the resilience and the tenacity that I've built through that experience has enabled me to do things that I never thought were possible. And so I'd like to leave you with this thought. Imagine what each and every one of us could do if we were able to overcome the things that we see as limitations, the things that scare us. Imagine how far we might go and what every single one of us here might go on to achieve. I'd like to finish by thanking the Pro Vice-Chancellor for this award, and thank everyone here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I now invite the stewards to bring forward the second group of graduands. Deputy Pro-Chancellor. The following have also qualified for awards from the Nottingham School of Art and Design. Bachelor of Arts degree with honours in Fashion Marketing and Branding. Evie Maher. Constantina Marcouli. Kate McGuinness. Holly McPhee. Rosie Meredith. Liz Lotta Minive. Katie Moore. Iona Nicholson. Emily O'Boyle. Jessica Oldnall. Kirsty O'Leary. Lydia O'Reilly. Denisha Patel. Eleanor Penfold. Jessica Pinner. Charlotte Ranger. Nataria Rapley. Macy Richards. Millie Richardson. Zoe Robinson Brown. Clydaz Saliskat. Ilaria Maya Salisbury. Lily Schneiderman. Louise Sherlock. Alice Taylor. Jade Taylor. Chloe Thompson. Rishika Tibrawala. Georgia Turvey. Emily Wade. James Webb. Amy Whittaker. Nicola Wisniewska. Anastasia Yuzhalkina. Comfort Adene. Farouk Ahmed Nedshad. Yassine Ahmed. Michael Andrew. Lucy Bell. Daniel Baldrini. Nathaniel Briscoe. Liam Cunningham. Youssef Dalit. William Davies. Daisy Donaldson. Sebastian Ebner. Casey Eldridge. George Ellison. Eleanor Gullick. Chloe Hembury. Thomas Hennigan. Aqib Hussain. God's favour in Yang. Milo Lorio. Shreya Jar. Joshua Jokum. Kelting Kaba. Danielle Kushmar Torres. Brandon Lansbury. Tabiso Mathui. Maria Nero da Silva. Gregory Nudick. George Perry. Lucy Powell. Thomas Riley. Thomas Smith. Dionisio Tanteles. Megan Thompson. Niall Webb. Bachelor of Arts degree with honours in Fashion Marketing and Branding, Chloe Glazard. Bachelor of Arts degree with honours in Filmmaking, Rikeli Nakinki. Deputy Pro-Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of awards from the Nottingham School of Art and Design and concludes the presentation of awards to graduates at this ceremony. In absentia, Deputy Pro-Chancellor, I invite you to confer degrees on those graduates who have not been presented to you in person, but who have indicated that they wish to receive their awards to be confirmed in their absence. I certify that these graduates are worthy of their degrees, and I stand as proxy. Elise Argent, who earlier received a Bachelor of Arts degree with honours in Decorative Arts, will now propose the student vote of thanks.
Baroness, Host Vice-Chancellor, Executive Dean, distinguished guests, family, friends and fellow graduates. What a 3 years this has been. I don't think any of us thought, sitting in a meeting in our first term, hearing that we would in fact be the last of Dec Arts, that we would all come out the other end as successful creatives, having developed our own styles and specialities. I do not want to say that we stumbled through first year, but it was definitely not the smoothest of roads. Despite this, we all made a strong return to second year, choosing specialisations and beginning to hone our individual skills. Second year would bring its own challenges. I would personally count learning Rhino through a remote desktop and over Teams as a particular challenge, but again, we as a cohort showed amazing resilience, and by the end of the year, most of us had decided on our paths for our final year. Final year was everything we expected. Long hours, countless moments of disappointment when the pieces you had spent weeks on inevitably went wrong, but it also came with a huge sense of personal and group achievement. From those late nights in the library, which ended with you walking home in the early morning light, to the mass confusion about word counts hours before our final hand-in, I can safely say it's been a ride. I'd like to say thank you to the staff of Decorative Arts. Your tireless work throughout our 3 years has allowed us to develop into enthusiastic, strong-minded creatives. To our friends and family, many of who are here today, thank you for your ever-present support. I wish to say a massive thank you to all the technical support team across all disciplines. You've been there where everything that could have gone wrong has, and it was normally in a rather disastrous way, but you've also been there for our greatest triumphs. I believe I speak from all my fellow graduates when I say you've been the pillar of support and can give any motivational speaker a run for their money. And finally, I'd like to say thank you to my fellow graduates, an amazing bunch of people who have overcome enormous challenges and achieved so much. For those continuing in education or starting jobs in the world of working, I wish you all good luck. And for those taking on some well-deserved time to relax, I hope whatever you do next is fulfilling, and I wish you every success. It has been an honour completing this degree with you, and thank you for being a hilarious and somewhat crazy group of people. Congratulations, guys.
Class of 22, I echo the thoughts of our Pro-Chancellor, our Pro-Vice-Chancellor right at the beginning by congratulating you on your achievements and wishing you every success for the future. And it's fantastic, isn't it fantastic, for us all to be able to share the day today? Absolutely wonderful. I can't quite believe that I'm really seeing you, but it's wonderful, and I think it must be marvelous for all of you after the work that you've done and the amount of time and the uncertainty of at least the last 2 years, to finally be here and knowing that you have achieved so much after such a difficult time. So I just think it's amazing, and I love it that your nearest and dearest are here in person as well, and in our magnificent University Hall. I want to recognise the contribution that Charlie Martin has made since leaving NTU. Charlie, you're an outstanding alumni and a role model for this new generation of graduates. Thank you for your wonderful, both inspiring and really insightful words. Thank you very much indeed. Also, I'd like to congratulate Elise, Elise Argent, for those wonderful student vote of thanks. I felt, as she was describing it, that we'd kind of been on the journey with her. It did feel as if you'd come through a heck of a lot, and I was so glad that she was able to describe it in a way that enabled us all to share that with you. I've been so struck by the word that everybody has used in their speeches to you today. The word is resilience. The fact that everybody has been able to show, and I think Charlie emphasized this, but also illustrated, I think, that what she went through, she didn't realize at the time, was actually going to result in so many other skills that she was able to use later to think about, to decide, actually, yes, I can do that. Not, ooh, maybe not, maybe, wouldn't that be hard? I can do that. And I think that's one of the most inspiring things that anybody here can take away with them, because that's the confidence in yourself that you need to be able to, you need to bring as a result of your time here at Nottingham Trent. Because I think, and it's quite clear from what Elise was saying, that, and you share that, I think, Elise, don't you, that all your colleagues on your degree were the same, and that these are the skills that you were able to use in later life. So I really do urge you to think about those in a very careful way, and to think about the fact that, again, I refer to just a point that Charlie made, but take on the things that you fear, because you can. And it'll make a huge difference, and it will place you in a different way, in a different path. So, students, you are the beating heart of this university. And in fact, in many ways, of course, you've only got to go around the city to realize students are the beating heart of the city as well. Your contributions didn't just come in lecture theatres or seminars or studios or laboratories. You undertook placements that made local organizations more effective. You took NTU to the top 10 in the University Sports League. You ran societies linked to your subjects. You made the Global Lounge the vibrant place that is known around the world. Beyond our campuses, you played sports for local clubs. You helped young children with their reading in local schools. You volunteered at food banks. Sad, though we have to admit that. But wonderful that you did it. You recovered welfare benefits denied local residents. As and when it was possible to do so, you contributed generously to the nighttime economy of the city. You undertook countless other activities through the Societies of the Students' Union. Where on earth would Nottingham be without you? Although you've now graduated, you remain members of our global NTU community, our family, a worldwide community of over 220,000 alumni. Our doors will always be open to you. Certainly have a look at the alumni website for further details. You can continue to access support from us, including face-to-face advice on the next steps of your career over the next 3 years from our employability team. In time, consider how you too could help future students, future generations of students, just as some alumni will have helped you through offering lectures, placements, and careers advice, and by helping to fund our scholarships, facilities, and research. When the time comes, we encourage you to complete the Graduate Outcomes Survey. By doing so, you'll be making another important contribution to the university, which will be very much appreciated. But that's for the future. Now is the time to enjoy your success. I invite you all to join us for celebratory refreshments in the Newton building. And although I'm going to ask everybody to remain seated for the processional music, I really want you all to rise up and congratulate today's graduates, because I think they've done a wonderful job. Please stand. Can I ask the graduates to stay standing and everybody else to sit? Because I also want you all to thank, Elise did it for you, but I want you all to stand and thank the family, the friends, the colleagues, all the people who've supported you, the staff at the university, your teachers, your lecturers, those who've helped you during this 3-year journey to create the success that you have enabled yourselves to create today. So would you please, graduates, thank the people in the room and your other friends. Well done, everybody. Guests, please remain seated for the processional music and as the academic party, followed by the graduates, leave the hall. But now it is my formal duty to declare this graduation ceremony closed.
Yeah.